I thought this would be a fun and helpful video for two kinds of listeners. First, if this is your first encounter, your first video from my channel, it will give you the nuggets all at once. And if you are intrigued, you can listen to the entire Keys of Magic series in order to deep dive on these principles. For those of my listeners who have listened to many videos in the Keys of Magic series, or perhaps all of them, that's a lot of information you're processing. It can be hard to get the nuggets and know exactly what to act on. All magic keys are important. These are just my personal idea of what could be the most essential bits to remember, especially at this point in the series. So I chose these top keys because of two reasons. One, they are perhaps keys that switch you out of the non-magical conditioning you've had. When you first heard these, you may have felt, now what? So that's why they need to be remembered. Don't go back to your conditioning or try to fit what I'm teaching you into your conditioning. Remember these three keys. And second, again, these keys are perhaps the most actable. Understanding and using them will lead you most directly to effectiveness. And as it turned out, I couldn't settle on three top keys, so there's a bonus fourth. And also, these ideas are actually a fusion of several of the keys that I went through one by one in the first part of the Keys of Magic series, videos 1 through 33, the candidate practice portion of the series. So let's get into it. The first top key to remember is that while we are learning a lot about method, magic is not method, because you can use any method. Method is generally interchangeable and according to the magician's preference. But magic is a wish. Or as the key states, magic is the authorship of cause. The drive you have to create your own experience leads you to try out and commit to methods. And this authorship of cause is a curse and a blessing. You can learn more about that by listening to previous videos in this series. The second top key. Never forget that keys of magic are keys of change, and that your magic is the skill to induce change, precision change, because all humans induce change all the time, but most are running on whim and default and misunderstanding. The changes you make will produce the experience you wished to cause. The third top key is the realization that changes are always made within beings and in connections and conditions of beings. And this is likely a huge switch from your non-magical conditioning. We do not magic on or with objects because there's no such thing as an object. The world is alive. Magic is done in mutuality with other beings. And you, as the human and or the magician, is one of those beings. But so is the chair, so is the butterfly, so is the sun, so is the microchip. Each and all beings possess their own magic that the magician may have the privilege of receiving. The establishment of an influence with energy and power sharing between beings is termed knowledge. Knowledge is begun and maintained by communication. Which brings me to the bonus key of how to begin. There are many keys of knowledge. That is, many keys of how to energy share and power share, and thus set conditions in mutuality with beings. This video is only an address at the novice magician stage. So there's lots more to learn, but at this point, your necessary and initial key is what I have termed submission. Any further keys of knowledge will be useless if you can't first live submission. Another term for that is resonance. As a key, we say the speaker must first hear. Anything one desires to have submitted to them, one must first submit to. Any being one would like to do their bidding, one must first do the bidding of. If you want a being to resonate with you, you must first resonate with it. And when you do speak, your first whisper, which ought to be heard as a shout, your first speaking is to be trustworthiness. That is your first language. The whole universe knows that language. All right. In my next Keys of Magic video, I will be giving all the keys in one place instead of scattered about the series, as well as a way or two to start committing not the words to memory as such, but the actual keyness of each key within you. I'll see you then.